Congratulations everybody, Vandal Hearts 2 is fixed! Hello there, Woodhouse204 here, and now we are past the clickbait opening, so I can explain what I mean by that. Vandal Hearts 2 was never really broken, it just had some caveats about it that kept it from being a really cool strategy RPG on the PlayStation 1. Vandal Hearts 2 is like your weird, crazy second cousin who you saw at parties as a kid, who you wanted to hang out with because they had some cool toys, but your mum and dad wouldn't let you play with them because they did weird stuff to their G.I. Joes. Vandal Hearts is a strategy RPG franchise from famed Suikoden creator Konami. The first of these came out at the end of 1996, which is a shame because a certain Square game came out that nobody quite remembers a few months later. The Game Press liked the first game, lauding it for its 3D visual style and explosive spell effects, but wasn't too keen on the linear storytelling and the general lack of depth. Personally, I liked the more mature story and the absolutely disgusting amounts of blood that skyrocketed out of anyone as they died. Fast forward to 1999, and Konami tried again, this time taking heed of Final Fantasy Tactics that had released 2 years prior, and they decided they were going to have some of that anyone can become any class cake and eat it, with Vandal Hearts 2. Now, copying parts of maybe the best strategy role-playing game of all time isn't a bad idea. In fact, it's a pretty good one. And so Vandal Hearts 2 allows your units to wear any armour and use any weapon, and does a pretty good job of balancing it all out so you don't end up with flying armour units that can cast 20,000 damage spells on the whole map at turn 1. So where is the issue with this game? Why did I say it was fixed? Fixed means that it had to be bad in some way for it now to be that way. Those of you who have played the game will know what I am about to say. The one thing that makes Vandal Hearts 2 stand out more than anything is its turn system. Most strategy games have some form of turn system that revolves around you having a go, then the other team having a go, and so on and so forth, allowing the player to take their time on each of their turns to think out their moves based on what's just happened and what they think is about to happen. Not here. Not in this Vandal Hearts game. Here, they decided to have you choose the actions of any of your team and end your turn to perform them. Then, once you have confirmed that you have ended your turn, the game splits the screen in half, one showing the actions you just programmed into your main character to make him move behind that pesky bandit unit to slash him in the back. Whilst this is all going on, however, the AI is using the other half of the screen to show that same pesky bandit moving, over to stand behind where the MC used to be. Both characters attack, and they both miss. And so on and so forth. Now, that's not to say that the AI's choices are so random that you can't figure them out and dodge your characters out of the way for some anime-style ducking and rolling out of peril, just like you're probably imagining right now. However, there are lots of enemy characters, and lots of friendlies, and it quickly becomes a game of pile on the guy who can't move anymore. Which is kind of a problem towards the end of the game, when characters can all die in one hit if they come across the wrong unit type. And so finally we come to the fix for this issue. On the 16th of September last year, a user by the name of Paul_Met released a mod on romhacking.net that changes this turn order aspect of the game, so that the enemy team will only move once all of your characters have finished their turns, which is how the original game did it, as well as most other strategy RPGs. Now, before the inevitable backlash for saying that this change to the game fixes it, and the onslaught of people saying that it should be played the way it was designed, I would like to say I bought the game when it was released. I enjoyed it. I completed it. But only once. I think if I were to go back and attempt it again as the crusty, semi-live corpse that I am, it would be difficult for me to stick with. With the wealth of options available to me these days, I would rather play Vandal Hearts 2 with this patch than without it. Of course, this is my opinion, but I am right and you are wrong, as is always the case when it comes to my opinion. The best way for you to argue this, if you want to, would be to try out the mod, review it on ROM Hacking and tell Paul_Met what you think. Then, and only then, come back here and write awful shit about me in the comments. Peace!